And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to that final best of 3 here of Group A of the Brazilian StarCraft 2 circuit. We have our TvZ between the top 2 seeds of the group. We have number 1 and number 2 here ready for us, and here we go in the bottom left-hand corner. We have the Brazilian Terran player, the Red Terran. It is Kamikaze. And one of these days I'll line up the first one. God damn it. Shout out to Iceguard, of course. Iceguard is handling the production and handling the observing. There it is. Yep, number 4. Ranked number 4 in the overall Brazilian StarCraft 2 circuit. He's ranked 4, and in the top right hand corner we have the number 5 rank going for a pull first. It is Dorminhoco for Eximius Gaming. Let's go. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chats as we jump into our TvZ. Let's go. Let's go. There's a lot coming into play here. First things first, 2x Reaper. We have 2x Reaper out of Kamikaze. Meanwhile, pull first out of Dorminhoco. We'll see who's... I mean, Kamikaze should be the initial aggressor. I still favor Kamikaze in this position as he will gain map control early on. We'll see if Dorminhoco can slip by, but even if he does as a full wall as a natural, I do favor Kamikaze coming into the early game here. We'll see what is done with the spawning pool, though. I mean, this could be pull first into an earlier Roach Warren, into earlier gases. There's potential here for some shenanigans. And with that, he does open pool first. It doesn't make any lings, just moving, or does start and prioritize that queen. Likewise, 2x Reaper underway. The initial Overlord will confirm this, so once Dorminhoco sees, once again, gasless. So pull first into hatchery here from Dorminhoco. We saw this opener last time. For those that were curious, I did emphasize how this is a variation of gasless opener. There are some big pro players that do go gases from time to time in this matchup, going for a faster third, but they don't quite do it quite like this, where instead of a third base, it is going to be a faster macro hatchery. As you mentioned, this does allow for greater SimCity at the natural and earlier larva as well, and just earlier defenses. So far, Reaper doing what they can, chipping away here at the hatchery. GG Dorminhoco for making the next set of queens. Speedy out. Just Reapers are poking in. From here, we should only be making 3 Reapers. There is no third expansion, so you don't want to overmake Reapers. Queens, they can hold their own, and they will. So away the Reapers. You send them back. Kamikaze behind this, going for a 3rd CC before Starport. Oh, even actually, I believe that was 3rd CC before Factory. Okay. Very greedy. Reapers, they poke in. Lings are somewhat waiting for him, but they're all gonna get cleaned up. Yeah, every ling goes down. We got a full scout of the main. We got eyes on the lair. Drones are boys are being pulled. Oh, this is too much. This is far too much damage at this point. Kamikaze gets away. He bleeds out 1 Reaper for 2 drones for all those lings. He rotates back over to the low ground mineral line, gets another drone. This is just a rough start for Dorminhoco. It's being pulled apart. Now, the 2-base lair has potential for something like 2-base muta play, something more aggressive, something more assertive, to get some counter damage done, but it's not going to be mutas. We have Roach Warren. Scout is denied. But Kamikaze, he already sold the fast lair, so he knows it should be one of 2 things. He pulls away. Let's pull away. Likewise, getting to Stim, getting to his own after the 2-rank Reaper, getting to his own 2-on-1. Dorminhoco investing quite heavily into Reapers early on. And so far, he is just building up. We have 9 roaches in production. That's a lot of roaches. I believe still no ling speed. Flora's on the way. Kamikaze pulling back. Did go reactor to Hellion for quite some time. Okay. Let's sound the Overlord. Likewise, behind this, tunneling clause is done. We have Burrow being researched. There's a lot of cheeky potential here for Dorminhoco with his roaches. As he may just deny combat shields, just straight up. Combat shields is going to go down. Let's chase roaches with whatever he can. Just still routing in more roaches, takes down all the Hellions, and he's just overwhelming. He's just overwhelming the army without tanks to support, without tanks or Banshees or BC even. There's nothing quite here. Roaches, they're just knocking down that front door. Again, there's just nothing really behind this. There is one tank on the way. The scariest thing about this setup here that Kamikaze has is just how exposed all the production is. Like, despite Kamikaze having a pretty strong start, I would say, killing workers and sniping lings, we do see the counterattack here is brutal. As boys are being pulled, more SCVs going to be going down. So many SCV kills getting up to 11. Oh god. 11, 12 SCVs. More roaches rushing forward. They're still not done. Nowhere close. Behind us now, we see Dorminhoco droning. Now he's droning. Double Evo Chamber. Bailey Nest is on the way. Now he's working towards a longer game state. It took a while for that to happen. It took years. As that is 28 SCVs. Kamikaze down to 27. Down to barely an economy. Again, I can't sense those frustrations. Didn't have a bad start. Not at all. Oh, the burn! It's crazy. That was 30 roaches for 29 SCVs, 16 Marines, a tank, Hellions, 2 tanks even. Now it's time for the counterattack. There's always potential. At this point, Kamikaze, he's hoping that Dorminhoco's just out of position. He's hoping that Dorminhoco's across the map, or maybe across the map, but he's at home. Is at home here. Oh, the Biles. Those Biles that don't quite connect. Again, from this point forward, Dorminhoco should be free to just drone to saturate up to 70-ish workers. And then focus on the main road Ravager. That'd be the hope, at least. That is the hope for Kamikaze. Meanwhile, Dorminhoco is taking up into Hive. He's droning up. He's droning up as well. Kamikaze pushing with his main army. Okay. He's got 3 tanks. Velassi's moving into Link Bane Road Ravager. Both piles with a friendly fire, but the tanks will be reset. Handle the tanks. Trays all against the bio. Kamikaze still trying to micro his heart out, but did just lose his tanks. Now behind this, Kamikaze is double expanding. He's getting his 3rd base, getting a 4th CC as well, if given time, and that's also what these drops are doing. They're not just about, oh god, they're just not about dealing damage, they're about keeping Dorminhoco busy, keeping him pinned, while he expands. I mean, we have 3-3 on the way for the bio, true. Getting to 3-3 upgrades. That's 5% gathering energy. They're building up. Hive is done. Ultra's on the way alongside Kindness Plating. Without Ghosts, without a heavy Marauder count, it's going to be difficult to deal with. We've been here before. Kamikaze, though, he's willing to embrace the ghosts, I want to say. I want to believe. This Kamikaze's not looking. Not quite. Focusing on his northern drop. Dorminhoco is the first to max out. Again, Dorminhoco, he had a really hard time droning. Like, he did choose not to drone for quite some time, so that's why he's a little bit later to max out. Alice is here. Headed towards the main. With the help of Vipers, these medevacs should finally go down, as we finally have some anti-air. Dorminhoco is maxed. This one maxed out, now moving in. This time he's not stopping, cleaning up those tanks, chasing down the bio. And again, even though these aren't clean trades for Dorminhoco, these are trades he can afford. To take down the tanks. Going for another blinding cloud. Doing what he can. Likewise, do we have a power bomb? Not quite. And going for the blinding cloud, it's okay. From here, Kamikaze can try to make a stand, and he will. Hey, yo, Dorminhoco, have we been skipping injects? Oh. He has been. Yeah, you can see no inject in the main. He's taking up into Ultra Cavern. Sorry, into Greater Spireman to say. And no injects here at this base either. Does collapse in. Oh, not bad. Oh my god. Surrounding the army. Nice engage. Kamikaze still hanging in there. We've had a lot of these kind of game states in CVTs today, or in this event actually, I should say, in this group stage. Where Dorminhoco finds himself in a more dominant position, but unable to really leverage that. At least not immediately. As he's catching up. Snipes going up, but there goes. Yeah, Ghosts are exposed. Do get a powerbomb towards the end. Nice snipes on the Vipers. He gets one. It's one snipe off. Ultra run by here towards the center. It's at center. Likewise gets another powerbomb. One set Metamax. Boys being fooled, not good enough. And that's going to be 14 SCVs. Dorminhoco, he will bleed out these ultras. These are, in a way, expensive losses. But he can afford it. It's okay. It's okay. CC working in the chat. Well, I saw you played in Big Brave Mounts yesterday, but I had to leave before you started. Did you win? Oh, I recommend the VODs, Pappy. I recommend it. I want to say that maybe in the next 24 hours the VOD should be available on YouTube, over on the Basilisk channel. Do you recommend it? Do you recommend it? I will say the practice paid off, and then the practice didn't come into play. Because of reasons. But Zumbrigup did race switch halfway through. Did race switch. I do recommend it. So Kamikaze trying to hold on. Alas is being torn apart. Again, he just doesn't have the supply to defend multiple occasions at once. And he will trade against the Banelings, but he will lose the expansion. Mineral Line goes down. 24 SCVs. And GG gets called. Kamikaze finally broken, and Dorminhoco takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, Kamikaze hanging in there for as long as he could despite the deficit. I mean, again, when it comes to these bio compositions, they can be very efficient. They can be very efficient, especially with Ghosts getting involved. So you can be down 20, 30, 40 supply, and you can still take these better fights. And he was, in a way, trading somewhat efficiently. But the problem is that because of the greater economy, it didn't really matter as much. Dorminhoco, he could afford to be inefficient. He could afford to throw away Marines and throw away Ultras and throw away Greens, throw away Lings, Banelings, and Ultras. He could still afford that. GG. GG, well played. With that, Dorminhoco takes the lead in the series, and we'll see if he can claim the 2-0 or if Kamikaze does bounce back. Let's go. Let us go. Oh, actually, hold on. Let's go. Sorry, I just said it should be up within the next like 24 hours. It just went live. I got you. I got you, baby. I got you. So we're getting into our next game. We're getting into game 2 here. Game 2 of our best of 3 series. Again, the final series of Group A. We made it, baby. We made it. As in the bottom right hand corner, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the red Terran. It is Kamikaze. For Team NWCE. Sorry, Eximi's Gaming. My apologies. Oh, they're teammates. True. And spawning in the top left hand corner, once again going pool first, we do have the blue Zerg player from Brazil. It is Dorminhoco. Does take the 1-0 lead as we load into Abyssal Reef. And again, Dorminhoco able to achieve quite a lot of damage early on, despite Kamikaze going 2 ranks to Reaper, and I would say having a better start, a better early game from the side of Kamikaze. Dorminhoco getting into his own roaches, he was able to get some nice counter damage, he was able to bust into the natural, able to wreak havoc, and able to get a nice solid lead from there. Again, it wasn't enough to immediately end the game, but it was enough to at least cripple Kamikaze, and he never quite allowed Kamikaze to recover. Never let him build up. So what he's saying is I should start watching the stream and check out the VOD out instead. Okay, you should. This is when you open up multiple monitors. You watch everything. Let's go, let's go. But I'll probably like tweet out about the VOD and post about it on Discord and stuff. True, true. We'll get you there. Actually, I'll just put it. I'll post in Discord now. Actually. As now with the initial pool first opener, the Sixlings that do move out across the map, they don't quite delay the CC, but can they get some SCV kills? Oh, they get one. One SCV. They do deny some mining time. It's some damage here in the main. A little bit. Gets one. Oh, can he get another? He delays the factory. And gets 2. That's 2 SCVs for 6 lings, baby. 6 lings. Oh, God. So it was a trade, to say the least. The problem here is that this didn't delay the command center. So the command center still gets up and running at a reasonable time for Kamikaze. So his own economy is still looking quite solid. Did lose some workers, that's true, but overall can still keep up. Meanwhile, across the map, once again, Macro Hatchery, once again, Lair is on the way. Dorminhoco is going for the same opener every game so far in this series. So Lair into Roach Warren, not into Muta play. Here we go. As we are setting up. So far, geez, you can see the SimCity here from Dorminhoco. He's like, you will not get into my mineral line. You shall not pass. Reaper Sim, but the Hellions are going to be denied. And again, that's one of the added benefits of going for that macro hatchery is your SimCity. Is being able to wall up in such a way. Of course, you have extra larva and you have as a result, like more droning because of extra larva. Oh, the Reaper, the Jukes. It does get trapped though. It does get trapped. There's just SimCity all over the place. There's just walls everywhere. But there we go. Now Dorminhoco can expand. A much later expansion out of Dorminhoco. But overall, will hold. Will hold, will drone, will saturate. Likewise, we do have a second factory. Oh no, we're going to be here for a while. Second factory is on the way. And the Kamikaze is going into mech. He's meching it up. He's meching it up. Not just mech, there's a third factory going into battle mech, going into blue flame and macro accelerators. I feel like this is where Kamikaze really hits his stride. I mentioned this at the start of the series, actually before the series began, but Kamikaze, he's known for his mech composition, and he has that is where he thrives. That's where he does often defeat Dorminhoco and bring him down. And these older, larger maps and more defensive maps are ideal for mech as well. The maps like Abyssal Reef, King's Cove, Neo Valley Square. Mech can thrive, and mech is here. Now, seeing a Cyclone is very suspect. There we go, does go in for the scout. He does see the research on the tech lab on the factory, so he knows. At this point, Dorminhoco should be 100% aware of the mech that's coming his way. We have Burrow being researched. Interesting upgrade choice here on the side of Dorminhoco. There's definitely a lot of potential for like micro when it comes to lock-ons and trying to break lock-ons with Burrow and trying to force out scans. Like, there's potential. You see here in the history of these two players, Kamikaze does have a 76% win rate. So Kamikaze does often come out on top. We've seen them trade maps, but overall series is in favor of Kamikaze. Hellions, yeah, denied. Denied. Likewise, we have once again just rushing into a hive. I'll be honest, we haven't really been able to touch on it too much. In general, throughout these series and even in the last game, I was okay with the fast hive just because Dorminhoco was far enough ahead. Here, I'm not too sure what the fast hive really accomplishes. Like, it gives you adrenal, I suppose, for your lings, just to make them that much more effective. But against Hellion Cyclone, I don't know if that really helps too much here. Of course, with Infestation, you can make an Infestor and you can fungal the army and lock it down, but the hive you don't need. So interesting choice here from Dorminhoco. Going to the hive before proper 4-base saturation. I mean, I guess Vipers cannot break siege lines. Close on the way. Okay, we're going into Lurker Tech. Okay. That I wasn't expecting. Oh, we're going for the Lankers, baby. Going for the Lankers. There's that Viper production now that the hive is done. Dorminhoco finally joins up to 81. Again, joining has been a little bit more delayed. It's been more delayed. Meanwhile, Bailey run by, slipping by, question mark, where are we going? Going the long way around, runs into the army. Bailey's cleaned up. We have triple starport on the way. Oh, this screams BC transition. Oh no. Oh no. I can feel the BCs already. Assuming we have a fusion core. Could be mistaken. Technically, this could be a Liberator switch. Especially against a lower Ravager count army. Liberators can be devastating. Let's see what's it gonna be. Starports have completed. There's that fusion core. Technically, it could just be for Liberator range. True. Looking at the production tab, there are reactors in production, not tech labs. So most likely just gonna be libs. Yeah, Liberator productions all the way. I got excited. I want to see the Lean Bane Ultra. As we're rolling up, yeah, we're making 4 Liberators at a time. Again, from my understanding, there's no tech labs on those starports. It's all reactor. So far, Dorminhoco is maxed out, but he's having a hard time actually making use of the army. It's a very Frankenstein composition. Like Ling, Bane, Roach, Ravager, Hydra Lurker. It does catch out some of the units though, not bad. Does catch him out. Lunkers popping up. Tanks trying to make their way onto creep. I mean, the tank line is solid, but that's a lot of links here waiting for them, and there's not much support here for the tanks. Honestly, Dorminhoco, he can engage. He can engage, and he most likely can clean up all the tanks. Not from the same angle, though. Jesus. As he doesn't make it easy on himself. It breaks through the siege line. Lurkers you borrow. We'll clean up all the tanks. So Dorminhoco just continuing across the map. He doesn't stop. He maybe should though. Yeah, as he does overextend. Big overextension. Dorminhoco losing everything. That was a brutal trade. Does trade. Still building up his own Ling Bane Hydra. Lurker Viper. Again, the style that Dorminhoco is going for, it feels like if you were here for the previous series on King's Cove, Dorminhoco versus Mapper, if I recall correctly, where he did go for one Nidus, one big like lurker play into the main. Feels like that's the direction we're heading in here. Let's see, we go. The kill count is racking up, getting up to 16, 17, 18 worker kills. Oh god. Deliberation is too much. Too much. Jeez, that's 20 lurkers are morphing in. 20. Where's the Nidus? That's all I want to know. As that also means there's that much less Hydras to deal with these Liberators, and I don't believe there are many Corruptors, if any at all. Yeah, the Lunkers are done. 20 Lunkers. Does rank a couple of tanks, I suppose. But again, what's against his Liberators? So the pair of lurkers go down. And the way he just ignores, yeah, he just ignores. He's just walking across the map. He's waddling in. Trading a base for a base. Oh god, but Liberation has arrived. And we spoke about it, that's a lot of libs. Does punish the army. At the same time, Blue Flame Helium Runby does get into mineral lines as well. Let's pull back and forth. Kazi gaining ground. Round takes on some of the bases. 13 corruptors on the way. And the corruptors will help somewhat. Dorminhoco no longer has a bank to work with, which is concerning. The mass mining clouds. Yes, now he invests into all these corruptors. They're not really helping too much. Now going back into Hydra? Oh boy, these are expensive. Back into Hydra Lurker. He never quite committed to the Nidus across the map. I'm not sure if he even has a Nidus. As Kamikaze rotates, he does siege up all the liberation zones. Corruptors, they can deal with them though. They move in. Vipers, oh, both Vipers get sniped by the Cyclones. Not as worth it. So Dorminhoco tries to break out. He's burning through his bank. Lurkers, they coming from behind. Let's go. The Lancers are doing what they can. We're getting scrappy. Kamikaze, though, he still has a bank to work with. Or at least somewhat of one. Someone going to do. Let's find a couple of tanks. Not bad. It's 1, 2, 3 tanks. A couple of tanks almost for free. As we're just throwing away more lurkers, more brutal losses. See Kamikaze going back into Air Terran, into Vikings. We never quite got into the BCs. Oh, but yeah, there it is. GG gets called. It's just too much. Kamikaze snowballs out of control, just out trading, and in the end, it does break Dorminhoco. GG again. He was just burning through his bank. Just really expensive tech choices from Dorminhoco, where he was going into like Hydra, Lurker, Viper, but then into Corruptor, then back into Lurker. Like just really expensive gas wise, especially compositions. And in the end, he just wasn't quite able to achieve much with it. We saw with the 20 Lurker Morphin, we expected like counterattacks and Nidus play across the map, but even that didn't really come to fruition. The Mass Liberator was more than ready, and GG, well played. With that, so we are going all the way to the ace match. We're going all the way to game 3. One way or another, the series will end here and now, either with Dorminhoco or with Kamikaze as the victor. Let's go. And again, this is the final series of Group A, the final one. Here we go. We actually haven't gone through the group yet. We will after this series. We'll get there. I'm sure. So now we're jumping into the ace match, jumping into game 3. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Frostline, we have our red Terran player from the land of Brazil. Representing Eximius Gaming, it is Kamikaze. And bringing us back here to the ace match. We're back to game 3. Vámonos. Also, I do apologize if I never started up predictions of the series. Ah, there we go. Rank number 4. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his teammates, also from Eximius Gaming. We have the Brazilian Zerg player, the blue Zerg. It is Dorminhoco, ranked number 5. I believe 1 and 2 are Master and Eric, and I believe number 6. That would be. Wait, though, yeah, Master Eric. And number 3 would be Inexorable. It'd be number 3. As we are having a look at their head-to-head. And again, does typically go in favor of Kamikaze, which is why it was impressive to see Dorminhoco take a lead in the series initially, but now we're loading into Frostline. Frostline is one of the larger maps in the map pool. It is not as defensive, so this is not as amazing of a map to go into mech play, for example, especially like a slower turtley style of play. We'll see. See where he takes us. Likewise, once again, it's the same build, so we have the pull first into 6lings, into macro hatchery, into 2 base lair, into 2 base roaches. 6lings are on the way. Oh, meanwhile, Kamikaze throwing down another Rax already. Going for a 2-on-1. At least what looks to be. He's got some builds. So as opposed to the previous game where we did embrace mech, this time it looks like a more bio composition from Kamikaze. So going for a faster second Rax into that tech lab. This tells me that he has significantly less to defend early on. But Dorminhoco, he doesn't commit with the lings. You can see he's ready for Reapers that are not coming. So coming into this, I would say that Kamikaze has the better early game. Just because Dorminhoco, he invested quite heavily into those lings, and they're actually patrolling in the main. From here, early stim. Early stim is on the way. Now we can turn this into an all-in. We can go into a 3rd and 4th Rax behind this, or this should be a 2-on-1. That means 2 Raxes, 1 factory, 1 starport. Into Medivacs, into double Medivac, 16 Marine timing with stim and combat shields. With stim at least. For now though, I believe still no factory. Yeah, no factory here for Kamikaze. What's it going to be? Overlord does go in for his scouts. There it is. Factory's on the way. But much delayed. It is a delayed factory. Like usually you go factory, you go Rax factory, then Rax again. It's a unique setup. The reason for that is it does allow you to make 2 Hellions early on to get some scouting information. Like right now, Kamikaze sees nothing. You can see his vision actually right now. He has scouted nothing across the map. I guess he can assume that it's going to be the same build, and he'd assume correctly, but against a more varied player, this is risky to pull off. There could be an actual all-in coming his way. There isn't, but again, there could have been. Going for the add-on swap into that medevac production, into the eventual move out. And we'll see if Dorminhoco is going to be ready for it. This is hitting a little bit later as well. Does hit a little bit later. Ursa being hunted down. And Dorminhoco is fully aware of the build at this point. Going into 1-1 upgrades. Sits at 5:30, even later. Oof. So here we go, double drop across the map. Making his way towards the main. Make his way in so far. Dorminhoco is keeping up with the drop, and again, this is a very delayed drop. This is hitting past 6 minutes, so a 6-minute 2-on-1 timing, it shouldn't achieve much damage. Thankfully, what I will say though is the Kamikaze preserves his army. He does preserve the Marines, so he can always go for a later push instead, with +1, with better upgrades, with more bio. As long as he retains the Marine count. Oof, as he bleeds out a lot of Marines here. So now we do have our upgrades on the way. Kamikaze does get supply blocked, which will slow him down. Likewise, he has no vision of this army, so he's out of position. He's moving out across the map. Now I would say that he would have success with this, but yeah, Kamikaze does stim in. It's natural. At the same time, Dorminhoco, he just doesn't care. He just commits. He commits to the all-in. How many drones? 39. 39 workers. Boys are being pulled. Tanks, they can cover the ramp, but Dorminhoco, he just go further in. He just send it, Pappy. Go into the main. Does break into the main base. There is one tank in the main mineral line. And the tank shelling away the army. Oof. Dorminhoco trying to close that distance. Will pick up the final tank. He's having some brutal trades, and is this enough damage? The answer is no. Yeah, this is nowhere near enough. Does he get any SCVs? Not yet. Roaches, they do hit the third CC. Now some more economic damage. This is okay, but not amazing. From here, Kamikaze, he holds. Again, he barely loses any SCVs. He lost 8 SCVs. He's still ahead. He's up in workers. He's up when it comes to muling. Dorminhoco was completely all in, and now he can get ready for a second all in. This is where your hope is that the defending player, Kamikaze in this case, is overly greedy and maybe gets a 4th CC, a 5th CC, throws down a bunch of tech, a fusion core, a 2nd and 3rd starport. Units wouldn't really help when it comes to a second all-in. So here we go. Here comes the second wave. Here comes the second all-in for Dorminhoco. It's all or nothing. And immediately the first 3 tanks are going to be going down. He does take the fight. Okay, not bad. Not a bad start. We're going for the base trade. Kamikaze is across the map instead. He's going for his own drop play. So we're trading a base for a base. Bearing in mind that Kamikaze, he can always float. Dorminhoco, he does try to evacuate. We're going to double drop into the main. And alas, Kamikaze is just so much faster to get into these bases. You see Dorminhoco finally knocking down that front door. Oh, hatcheries are falling. As alas, the CC does go down. True. Takes down the natural. Boys are being pulled. Can he take down the final tank? The Biles! Oh, Uramas! Does get the tank. Brings down the tank, but does he enough to fight the Marines though? Looks like he doesn't. The Marines will hold. The Marines will defend. They will survive. They shut down the Roach Ravager. He's just going for a massive doom drop across the map immediately. Does send it. Dorminhoco's got 14 more roaches in production. He does see the drop moving out, and hopefully he respects it. Uh-oh. Now goes to the natural. Oh my god, going further into the main actually, not bad. Getting more CV kills. At the same time, does commit. There are some reinforcements back at home. Boys are being pulled. Oh, Dorminhoco can't afford too many worker losses though, as he will lose all of his drones. 17 drones go down. Fights across about 13 SCVs. Natural goes down, the mineral line as well, and Kamikaze, I think he's done it. I think at this point he's done it. The man with gun is too good, is too strong. Dorminhoco, he just didn't get enough across the map. He got 16 SCVs, which is nice and all. Actually, the roach count is quite high. In a head-on fight, Dorminhoco, he can win this. But that's only head-on. The problem is that Kamikaze back at home is mining. You can see the bank, like he's mining. Yeah, you can see here is natural. It's getting saturated. I can't say the same for Dorminhoco, as he's down to one base. Dorminhoco is down to one expansion, and because he's down to one base, it means that if Dorminhoco moves out, he's going to be punished for it, and the game can just end by elimination.
A creep tumor's under attack.
Into the main. Takes down one of the gases. Mule's OP. He didn't get into the third. GG, well played. Dorminhoco, he does tap out. OP confirmed. That's Kamikaze. He will take it. GG, well played. Kamikaze, he will claim the series. Again, unfortunately, Dorminhoco, even though he did have some potential when it came to his move out, unfortunately, like the base trade was a little bit too chaotic, and with that, he was kind of torn apart back at home. He bled out too many workers, too many bases, but alas, it wasn't just the mules, of course, but on top of that, Kamikaze's armor is just achieving so much more across the map, killing bases and mineral lines alike. GG, well played. With that, Kamikaze will claim the series and does advance on. Does advance on, as I believe we are getting ready for our next group. Oh boy. As I still haven't gone over the brackets yet. There we go. Can we catch up?